there, welcome back. So I have a question for you. Are you a reliable person? Like if you say you're going to do something, can other people count on you to deliver? Most of us would agree that being reliable is a really valuable characteristic. I mean, beyond a sign of professionalism and competence, reliability also indicates respect and trustworthiness. But let's face it, we're all human. We all fall short sometimes, and sometimes we are the victim of circumstance. Here's a classic example. You have a client meeting scheduled for 2 o'clock. It's been a hair-on-fire kind of day from Jump Street. You battle endless interruptions, you navigate through all kinds of obstacles, you work through lunch, you race out of the office only to find yourself stuck in a traffic jam halfway there. You finally get out of the traffic jam, make it to the restaurant, tires screeching, you careen into the parking lot 15 minutes late, you sprint through the door apologizing profusely for all of the things beyond your control that make you late because after all you hate being late, you're never late, you're always on time. We've all been there, right? But the interesting thing is the variance between our perspective when we mess up compared to when someone else messes up. Consider a different version of that same scenario. You have a client meeting scheduled for 2 o'clock. You get there a few minutes early, you look around, you don't see him, so you grab a cup of coffee and you wait. 14 minutes later, he pings you. Running a little late, be there in 5 to 10. Now, that's irritating, right? When you were late, it was because of all the circumstances of the day. But now he's late. You don't likely stop to think that maybe he had a hair-on-fire day or maybe he was caught in traffic. All you think is, gosh, that's irritating. He's rude. He doesn't respect my time. He can't even manage his own time. Now, when we fall short, we always have reasons. But when someone else falls short, we instinctually perceive it as a character flaw. This is a classic example of fundamental attribution error, also known as correspondence bias. It's the tendency to place greater emphasis on situational factors when we consider our own behavior, while placing emphasis on character or intention when we consider the behavior of others. More simply, when we screw up, it's not our fault, but when others screw up, that's just who they are. Closely related to the fundamental attribution error is the just world phenomenon. This is the tendency to believe that the world is just and people get what they deserve. In one study, when something bad happened to someone else, subjects blamed that person's behavior or character more than 65% of the time. But when that something bad happened to the subjects, they only blamed themselves 44% of the time. They blamed the situation they were in much more often. There's a wealth of research on fundamental attribution error and just world effect as it perpetuates prejudice and stereotyping. And many studies now show the same effects, but with race or ethnicity, even politics. Like when members of our group make a mistake or act badly, it's an anomaly, or they were frustrated or maybe even provoked. But when members of another group act badly, it's so typical of them. Fundamental attribution error is so pervasive that I guarantee you will see it in action now that you know what it is. If you want to learn more about fundamental attribution error, check out my most recent blog post. Until then, instead of judging someone's character based upon what you see, try to imagine what you don't see. The circumstances, the experiences, the obstacles they may be facing. You know the old saying, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about? So true. Want to learn more about how the brain works and how to make it work better? Check out my book, Happier Hour with Einstein, and the full-color companion gratitude journal, available now on Amazon. And if you enjoyed this NeuroNugget, pass it on to someone in your corner of the world, because life is always better when you share the good stuff.